Snipers, you have to see what's happening to the Bitcoin price this Tuesday as we have a candle high of 63,902, allowing Ethereum to now see new all-time highs. Currently at 44.72, we are testing a major structural resistance level, and we've seen Ethereum get to this level in the past. And what's very interesting is right now with Ethereum forming this new high and with Bitcoin only forming a higher high, does that mean that Bitcoin is ready to follow and continue into price discovery while Ethereum also moves to the upside? Or are we seeing the final breath of a potential head and shoulder pattern to come towards the $58,300 level? We're going to look at some of the micro timeframes today because now that we're seeing this push for Bitcoin above 61,844, we can get a very good idea of how the strength is when it comes to buyers versus sellers. And first I want to start here on the daily chart. Notice how we do have descending buy and sell volume. And that means that sooner or later we're going to see a move in this region. And so that's something that we want to keep note of. We haven't seen any strong levels of volume come in just yet. On the 6-hour chart, the institutional time frame, we're seeing a moderate amount of buyers and sellers, but nothing significant at these higher price levels above 58,353. So we can't say that we have yet to see much volume here for Bitcoin. On the 3-hour chart, you can see this a lot more clearly with this move today to the upside. It was pretty much less volume than the move that we saw on the 28th of October that took us back from 58,000 to 61,000. So we're seeing less volume in this range above 61,800 to 64,844. But when we start going to the 15-minute time frame to see how are the battles being played, right? Because it's clear that the bulls are winning the war right now, but who is winning the battles within the war? And specifically at these higher prices above 61,844, notice how so far on the 15-minute we got a nice spike of buy volume with no sellers in sight in this region. And that tells me that the likelihood that we come up to test 64,855 right now is becoming higher and higher. And if we get to 64,855 with lighter volume, that would be the least preferred scenario for the bulls. The best scenario is that we head towards 64,855 and we see even more volume come in. And depending on how the sell pressure comes in around this range, we can start to potentially make the case that Bitcoin is ready to see even further new highs and potentially continue into price discovery. So I think that that's the main thing to know right now. It's that there's still potential we see even further upside here based on the micro time frames because you can see here we're seeing all these buyers come in with no sellers right now to equate. And so that's a very big puzzle piece. And of course, Ethereum, because of this move to the upside and with Ethereum maintaining itself against Bitcoin above all daily moving averages, we've seen a new all-time high. The Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, though, is what matters the most. Remember, the Ethereum to US dollar price is a lot more manipulated based on the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. So this is what we want to monitor right now, this major resistance at 72,000 Satoshis. This is going to be a huge deal, not just for Ethereum, but for all the other altcoins, because I think that if we see continuation to the upside for the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, it's going to bring strength to the other altcoins, and we'll see that in the chart that factors in altcoins outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is yet to see that push to the upside like the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. But Ethereum to Bitcoin being a leading indicator, I think we could expect that to follow. If we get rejected, that would be a whole different scenario from 72,000 Satoshis. Now we have to watch some of these support levels like the weekly open at 70,000 Satoshis and then 67,000 Satoshis, which is the previous weekly open, would be the next major level of support. So I think that the Ethereum to US dollar price moving up right now, it's nice to see. It's still a low volume breakout. The path of least resistance is always going to be sideways to a little bit higher. So it's nice to see what we're seeing here. I think that we all are waiting on Bitcoin to make a decision right now because that's what's going to matter the most here. And I do want to pull up this Bitcoin dominance chart as we've been monitoring this here on the Snipers channel based on the fact that for those that are bullish about Bitcoin dominance, we're below the 20-week moving average right now for the first time coming above it, now coming back below it. The question is, there's not really much more room here to go down if we want to assume this is truly a bullish reversal. Are we going to be seeing a reversal here soon? Or are we going to be seeing the downside? That's going to be a very interesting puzzle piece to monitor this week. And then the DXY pushing up today, still above this major level as a support, 93.82. And the range that we're in says that we're still very bullish, very correlated to Bitcoin dominance, as we know. This year it's been a little bit different so far, but we can't say that for the macro yet, right? S&P 500 still at the previous all-time highs within the body candle of yesterday. And then we're looking at international markets really quick. Japan seeing a slowdown from the gap up that we saw from the start of the week. Euro 100 still strong. Gold still sideways, of course, with oil. And then this gold to Bitcoin chart, we're going to be monitoring very closely. If we start to break new lows here, that shows that there's more momentum for Bitcoin to see continued price discovery. This is going to be a very interesting puzzle piece to watch for the bullish and the bearish case. So that's huge for both sides of the audience. And with that, I think that's almost all. I'm seeing a ton of people talk about Ethereum's new all-time highs. By the way, on our Discord group, we have the #1 cryptocurrency community in the world. And I see ETH Max 11 Laughing Plant having a fun time here talking about their profits here with Ethereum. What an amazing time to be in this market. So nice to see Ethereum break into these new highs. I'm very excited to see how Bitcoin is going to come up and react to this area of resistance at 64,855. If we truly get to test it, I think that that's the best case scenario for the bulls and the bears, because that could invalidate the head and shoulder pattern. So even if we see downside from there, at least we invalidate this head and shoulder, right? So I think that would be the most important reason we'd want to come up and test 64,855 for the bulls. And then we have to monitor how things play out with volume, because so far we're seeing light volume with this move up. So we know there's going to be resistance here above 64,855. So very interesting schematics today. And it's going to be an interesting week with Bitcoin dominance at a major support level. Thank you all for tuning into the Snipers channel today. I hope you enjoyed today's analysis. I'm going to be heading out of Cancun today, and so I'll have a video update tomorrow as always, though. Until next time, Snipers.